Greetings, fellow cultivators. Welcome to Oscar Nova. Remember to like and subscribe to support the journey. Today, we're diving into the story of what's the point of cultivating immortality if you don't have money. Seeing the formless warriors in front of him unexpectedly strike out a dragon-shaped true key towards him with a single move, Xiong's brow slightly furrowed. My 9 dragons heavenly gang palm. Xiong's first reaction was that Zhang Yu also knew this martial arts. But the next moment, as the true key collided with the true key, feeling the surging, powerful palm force attack, and hearing the dragon's roar soaring into the sky, Xiong was inwardly startled. This is my palm force. He bounced my previous palm strike back with a loud bang, accompanied by bursts of strong wind, scattering. From the point of impact, the true ki on Xiong's body slightly dissipated, but quickly refilled and surged again. Looking at the footprint where he had slightly retreated a step, Xiong nodded and said, "To be able to borrow the power of my previous palm, strike, and then hit it back. This technique of borrowing force to strike. If I'm not mistaken, it should be 9 heavens cloud void force." Being able to master this technique and cultivate it to such a degree, the freshman exam indeed limited your score expression. After all, the civil engineering department's freshman year has no relevant courses or exams. At this moment, Xiong looked at Zhang Yu with no more contempt in his eyes and said with certainty, "I recognize your strength. With this skill of borrowing force to strike, coupled with your tough body, you are fully capable of handling the defensive position." Xiong and Xiong, who were on the side, saw Zhang Yu's performance and exchanged glances, their eyes filled with surprise. Xiong sent a private message. "This kid, Zhang Yu, has improved so much compared to the last time we met. It's growing faster than the wrinkles on my face, and there are no signs of aging." Speaking of this, Xiong couldn't help but envy Zhang Yu's terrifying physique that could eat all sorts of potent medicines like meals. Xiong stood aside and said, "Senior brother Zhao, didn't I say junior brother Zhang is very powerful? Let's first assign our respective positions." Xiong and Xiong were responsible for the construction positions in the competition team, due to their rich experience in project construction. Zhang Yu and Tianyang were responsible for the defensive positions, protecting the construction projects, while Xiong and Xiong, being the strongest, were responsible for the confrontation positions, directly opposing the other side. Although both involved combat, Zhang Yu and Tianyang's main goal was to protect the buildings, while Xiong and Xiong's main goal was to confront their opponents. After discussing their respective responsibilities, Xiong continued, "I've sent the specific competition materials, rules, and some videos of previous year's competitions to the group. Everyone go back and study and prepare for your respective responsibilities. We will have our first training next week. If you don't understand anything, you can ask me anytime." After everything was settled, the 6 people present left separately. After all, as students of Wanfa University, each of them was very busy, in a state of constant activity. On the way back, Zhang Yu's bank account received a notification that the scholarship for the first place in the first academic year, 3 spiritual coins, had arrived. Unlike the student loan that Director Gao helped him apply for, this 3 spiritual coins scholarship did not need to be repaid. Looking at the balance in his account that had exceeded 9 points for spiritual coins, Zhang Yu breathed a slight sigh of relief, feeling that the tension from borrowing 50 spiritual coins earlier had greatly eased. But there are still many places to spend money. I need to keep making money, keep studying, keep cultivating. After all, I am someone who is going to enter the 10 great sects, and I have also agreed with HM to participate in the 10 Academies League. Thinking of this, Zhang Yu's eyes blazed with fighting spirit. With the confirmation of the competition team, Zhang Yu's days became even busier. Civil engineering courses, weapon refinement courses, and his own cultivation, working and making money every day, preparing for the competition. Too many things were pressing down on him. And time flew by rapidly in Zhang Yu's busy, fulfilling, and stressful days. Inside the training ground, a teacher said to the civil engineering students in front of him, "The directions of large-scale construction are diverse, and each related technique requires a lot of time, energy, and patience to cultivate and accumulate. The university does not require every student to learn all directions, but by graduation, they must at least have a proficient grasp of 2 or more large-scale construction techniques. The course I teach is about the filling and compaction operations for large-scale construction projects, such as roads, tunnels, dams, and large venues. The representative technique is the turning the heavens seal. As the other party explained, the mana circulation and move execution of the turning the heavens seal were all memorized by Xiong, Yu, and appeared on the U-book. Turning the heavens seal level 0. Looking at the set to which the turning the heavens seal belonged, which was Martial Dao Saint Body, Zhang Yu smiled inwardly and thought, it's a good thing that the large-scale construction courses are self-selected directions for advanced study. When I read the introduction of this turning the heavens seal in the Great Library, it was already part of the Martial Dao Saint Body set. As expected, it is true after trying it today. Currently, from the content of this technique, it seems that when this turning the heavens seal was created, it was for combat and killing, but now with the progress of the times. Zhang Yu looked at the teacher's figure in front and heard the other party say, remember, when compacting a soft road bed with the turning the heavens seal, you should first compact it 1 to 2 times without vibration, and then vibrate and compact it. When activating the turning the heavens seal, you also need to consider the differences in sandy, semi-cohesive, and cohesive soil layers. When Zhang Yu walked out of the training ground, he received a notification for Spirit Realm data usage payment. He pouted and silently transferred the payment. Next, with the consumption of various magical item rentals, spiritual stone purchase costs, loan interest, and so on, his spiritual coins were also constantly decreasing. Spiritual coin balance 8.5 spiritual coins. Within the Taiching realm. Around Zhang Pianpian, streaks of talismans flowed like a waterfall, making Zhang Yu dizzy. Regarding his sister's talisman learning and operation, Zhang Yu was already completely unable to understand. He only knew that the time she spent soaking in this Taiching realm, every day, was getting longer and longer. Every day when he came in, she was here studying talismans, and when he went out, she was still here studying talismans. She's really obsessed. Are talismans that fun? Shaking his head, Zhang Yu continued his studies. Activating the talisman his sister had given him, he began to extract the prepared study materials from his eye bone. But the next moment, his body suddenly stiffened. Where are my study materials? Just then, Zhang Pianpian, who was on the side, suddenly said without raising her head, you're not dual cultivating. Downloading so many Hewan sect, online, celebrity, videos, is a waste of time, and bringing them into the Taiching realm is a waste of space. I've already deleted them all for you. Zhang Yu was annoyed. Sister. You looked at my study materials. He punched the ground and angrily said, I was preparing with the Hewan sect students as my imaginary enemies. What if I encounter them in the 10 Academies League in the future? How can I be unprepared? Zhang Pianpian pursed her lips and said, I recommend you just get sterilized. It's more cost-effective. Zhang Yu stiffly changed the subject, saying, the path of immortal Dao is chosen by oneself. We should respect every cultivator's choice. Can you not do this in the future? Also, my browsing history, can you also not look at it in the future? Zhang Pianpian explained, I'm afraid someone is monitoring you or stealing your information, so I often help you check. After all, you are completely ignorant of talismans. Walking in the spirit realm is like being naked. Zhang Yu said helplessly, then can you at least pretend you haven't seen it in the future? Zhang Pianpian nodded, I understand. She tapped her fingertips repeatedly, and a talisman flashed and disappeared. I've already helped you restore your study materials. You can continue to look. Oh no, I don't know anything. Looking at his sister, who lowered her head and continued to study talismans, Zhang Yu took a deep breath and thought to himself, damn Kongshu, it's hard to have any privacy. Shaking his head, Zhang Yu cleared his mind of distracting thoughts. The next moment, multiple thoughts were activated, and he had already begun studying magical item engineering drawing, magical item principles, magical item design, and rune etching basics. These course contents were a large amount of weapon refinement knowledge, not cultivation techniques. Zhang Yu's U-book could not accelerate, so he could only study chapter by chapter in a step-by-step manner. However, with 20 times time acceleration and parallel learning through multiple thoughts, a large amount of knowledge continuously poured into Zhang Yu's mind, allowing him to gradually understand weapon refinement, which he was originally completely ignorant of. But the textbooks plus online course videos, all belonging to the refining department, even after an 80% discount, the 4 courses cost Zhang Yu nearly 1 spiritual coin in total. Spiritual coin balance 7.5 spiritual coins. Inside the training room. With a bang, as Zhang Yu stepped on the ground, a stream of black gold Xuanhuang qi was injected into the gravel beneath his feet. Then, with a fierce blow, the scattered stones on the ground soared into the sky like feathers, slowly drifting down like snow. Director Gao on the side nodded slightly, and said, "Not bad. In such a short time, you can push the Xuanhuang Zhenyu seal to level 3. You have some of my demeanor from back then. Keep working hard. Don't be complacent or lazy. You are still far from the true top level of the civil engineering department." Zhang Yu looked at the Xuanhuang Zhenyu seal on the Yu book, which had already reached level 10, and nodded repeatedly, saying, "I understand, Master." Having reached level 10, the Xuanhuang Zhenyu seal could now condense Xuanhuang qi that could exist outside the body. Zhang Yu had tried it in private. Now he could use Xuanhuang qi to attack outside his body, or use formless warriors or deep cold Hercules to activate Xuanhuang qi. After Zhang Yu left, Director Gao's expressionless face revealed a smile. He felt as excited as when he had bought a bull stock many years ago and wanted to show off to someone. However, Zhang Yu had not truly grown up yet, and premature exposure could easily cause trouble. After thinking and thinking, "Alas, magnetic pole true monarch, don't blame me. We've been old friends for many years, and you used to show off your law body, magical items, flying ships, mounts, cave dwellings, and savings to me quite a bit." So Director Gao took a picture of the scattered stones all over the sky and sent it to magnetic pole true monarch. Director Gao picture. Director Gao Zhang Yu's Xuanhuang Zhenyu seal is already level 3. Magnetic pole true monarch. Magnetic pole true monarch, really? That fast? Surprised. Looking at the other party's response, Director Gao took a deep breath, and a smile couldn't help but appear at the corner of his mouth. Who says my civil engineering has no prodigies? On the construction site on the 667th floor. As Zhang Yu struck a palm towards the sky, a stream of true qi soared into the air. The next moment, as Zhang Yu pressed his palm down, the true qi pressed down like the sky, and earth collapsing. And the atmosphere, squeezed by the true qi, seemed to become as heavy as lead and mercury at this moment, finally smashing into the ground like a huge square seal. With a loud bang, the originally uneven ground was immediately flattened and compacted. Zhang Yu, who was watching this scene, nodded slightly and thought, although my turning the heavens seal has been pushed to level 10, for now I can only use it at level 3 for work. What a pity. As the turning the heavens seal reached level 10, its range of influence was improved. Now, with full exertion, Zhang Yu could compact dozens of square meters of ground at once. Although I can only use level 3, it's good that I can switch back to key vein elongation when recovering. The mana recovery speed is fast enough, and I can use the turning the heavens seal for a long time in one night. In the blink of an eye, a night passed, and Zhang Yu received his first salary income from large-scale construction. In the following days, Zhang Yu worked every night, while cultivating the turning the heavens seal. Spiritual coin balance 7.9 spiritual coins. Inside the simulated construction site, Che Yunfei and Shi Yunxiang's bodies flickered rapidly. Surging true qi enveloped the site, and a tall tower gradually rose from the ground under their construction. Xiao Qingshuan walked towards the tall tower step by step, true qi surging around him, transforming into giant dragons that encircled him. 9 giant dragons flew back and forth, each one lifelike, their scales and claws soaring. From time to time, they would let out a long roar towards the sky, just like truly living giant dragons. The next moment, as the giant dragons attacked, Zhang Yu's deep cold Hercules had already charged forward. After several training sessions, Zhang Yu had gained a deeper understanding of Xiao Qingshuan's 9-dragon heavenly true palm. This palm technique condenses true qi into dragon shapes. As one's cultivation increases, the dragon-shaped true qi gradually becomes like a part of the body. Not only is its power immense, but it can also cooperate with the execution of multiple dragon race martial arts techniques. During combat, it was as if there were 9 dragons protecting the body, integrating offense and defense. Even though Zhang Yu could now summon more than 10 formless warriors to fight, they were defeated in a single move in front of these 9 dragons. So now he was using the deep cold Hercules to fight the opponent. On the other side, Xiong controlled the giant dragons, tearing apart the deep cold Hercules one by one, but felt a headache watching Zhang Yu gradually approach. Those humanoid true ki are troublesome, but as long as I deal with them slowly, and am careful not to be hit by reflected attacks, it's fine. This Zhang Yu is too tough. Fighting him for too long, my collection of miscellaneous lot bodies gets too damaged. Xiong recalled the first training session, when he wanted to completely defeat the opponent, but almost wore out the artificial meridians in his hand law body. Is this guy really from the civil engineering department? Since then, he had completely given up on the idea of defeating the opponent during training. Each time, he would either bypass or control the opponent, before attacking the building. After the training ended, Shi Huayu summarized, "Haha, Zhang Yu, you rushed to the front during the competition. I've asked many security students for advice on provocative and insulting golden phrases. I'll send them to you in a bit, prepare them well. Then you can output them before going on stage." Zhang Yu looked at the golden phrases sent by the other party, his face darkened, and said, "You guys really aren't afraid of me getting beaten to death, are you?" Shi Huayu said, "You're so tough, you won't die that easily. And killing a classmate is an immediate disqualification, plus full compensation. Unless you encounter a super rich person, no one will beat you to death." Zhang Yu said helplessly, "What if I encounter a super rich person?" Shi Huayu said, "Then of course, just go through the motions, and surrender directly." Zhang Yu rolled his eyes, and walked out with everyone, laughing and talking. After a few training sessions, Zhang Yu felt that the atmosphere of the new team was quite good. At least he felt comfortable with these poor guys. Everyone shared resources for various discounts, sales, and saving money, unlike before in Ma Xuan's team where he couldn't get a word in. Before leaving the venue, Zhang Yu and his teammates split the rent for the simulated construction site. In addition, there were material costs used during the competition process. Unlike ordinary construction sites, the building materials for the competition were customized. They needed to be purchased not only during the competition, but also often during training. Zhang Yu thought to himself, those old guys in the civil engineering department must have made a lot of money. Spiritual coin balance 7.8. Inside the dormitory, Zhang Yu unpacked the parcel sent by Zhenjin, and saliva unconsciously flowed from the corner of his mouth. I can eat meat again. Having not eaten meat for too long, Zhang Yu couldn't help but feast. But after eating the dried meat this time, Zhang Yu felt a strong sense of unease. It was as if a ball of fire was burning in his stomach, making him feel hot all over, and his lower abdomen burning. So after a moment, Zhang Yu couldn't help but cover his stomach, and contacted Bai Zhenjin, asking what was going on. Bai Zhenjin frowned upon hearing this. Did I pack the wrong thing? Your symptoms. It seems the meat you ate is for nourishing yin, and strengthening yang. Zhang Yu's eyes widened in surprise. What do you mean? Bai Zhenjin explained in ancient times, this meat was used to strengthen yang, often favored by ancient royalty. But now, because many people are sterilized, laboratories gradually discovered that after eating this meat, as long as you hold back a breath of primal yang, without leaking it, it can nourish the physical body, enhance the body's foundation, increase the effect of body refinement, and also temper the Tao heart. Zhang Yu cursed in his heart. Damn, even aphrodisiac meat can be used for cultivation? Bai Zhenjin warned, but if you can't hold back, it will damage your vitality. Remember, you must hold back. Holding back improves your strength, not holding back might lead to a decline in your results. Bai Zhenjin encouraged. Don't forget we agreed to participate in the 10 Academies League together. Zhang Yu said angrily, such troublesome stuff, who is using it? Bai Zhenjin said sterilized people eat it. For example, it works very well for me after I eat it. Zhang Yu once again felt that he was being held back by something. And having been in Kunshu for many years, he couldn't help but examine himself at this moment, wondering if he should adapt to local customs. But the next moment, he shook his head, thinking to himself, Yu Xing'an is also a local, and he isn't sterilized. And there's a place like Haiwan University, who says cultivating immortals must be sterilized. But feeling the restlessness in his body, Zhang Yu couldn't help but ask, how long does this take effect after eating? Bai Zhenjin, how much did you eat? Looking at the empty bag of dried meat, Bai Zhenjin was shocked. So much? You'll probably have to hold back for 1 or 2 months. Zhang Yu exclaimed. 1 or 2 months. Won't something go wrong? Bai Zhenjin said if you really can't hold back, just practice your techniques and punch. It should help you vent a little. As long as you hold back, the effect will definitely be strong, greatly beneficial to your physical body improvement. But with such a large amount, I'm afraid that once you can't hold back, it will be unstoppable. Yuzi, you must hold back. Every day you hold back, you get one step closer to the 10 Academies League. No. Bai Zhenjin's eyes narrowed. Where are your hands? Raise both of your hands. Zhang Yu raised his hands and said, what are you blindly suspecting? How could I not last this short amount of time? Bai Zhenjin said, sigh, if you really can't hold back, just forget it. I've also seen many students at Tianjin University cultivating dual cultivation, and some dual cultivating with their artifact spirits, and some achieving human sword unity with their flying swords. Seeing Zhang Yu's expression softening, Bai Zhenjin pointed at him and shouted, I knew you weren't firm. Your physical body is too strong, your qi and blood are too vigorous. Stimulated by so much meat, it's like adding fuel to the fire. No, I will check on you randomly from now on. You must answer my calls anytime, understand? Bai Zhenjin earnestly advised. It's not that mom doesn't trust you, it's just that I'm afraid you might not hold back for a moment, causing your university grades to decline, and ruining your bright future. After hanging up the call, Zhang Yu felt the increasing heat in his body. He took a deep breath and simply practiced the turning the heavens seal move by move. As his true ki vibrated, and palm shadows flew, Zhang Yu felt the scorching hot current slowly integrate into his body, nourishing his flesh and blood little by little. The stuff is indeed good stuff. The more the body moves, the more powerful it feels. Zhang Yu thought to himself, but it's uncomfortable. No, I must persevere with my supreme willpower. Advised by his sister, warned by a Zhen, and burned by the heat within his body, Zhang Yu gradually understood that he could no longer be like before. I must quit lust. In the following days, Zhang Yu felt the occasional burning sensation in his body, as if he had been wound up, making him practice and work even more desperately. In the blink of an eye, it was the end of September. His Xuanhuang Zhenyu seal and turning the heavens seal had both been pushed to level 20, and coupled with the spring-autumn endless Zen, he had finally cultivated to techniques of the foundation establishment, stage, martial, Tao Saint body. The 4 courses in the refining department: artifact engineering drawing, artifact principles, artifact design, and rune etching foundation, were also completely learned and absorbed by him. And spiritual coins continued to burn through the month. Fortunately, subsidies from the construction site and mana sales allowed Zhang Yu to barely maintain a balance. Spiritual coin balance 7.5. Construction site on the 667th floor. Yu Xingyan was massaging Yingxin while looking at the clouds of dust in the distance. Yingxin gasped as Yu Xingyan massaged her, saying, be gentle. I didn't realize you were so thin and small, but had such strong hands. Yu Xingyan smiled slightly and said, that's because I'm accurate, and the force penetrates into the damaged areas deep within your muscles. If you feel it's good, you can leave a positive review. Since getting a mentor, Yu Xingyan had joined the other party's massage company, and finally became a certified official male masser, able to openly massage classmates. Yingxin looked at Zhang Yu in the dust and said, is that the purple firmament heavenly net style? A transportation technique from large-scale construction techniques. In the midst of the swirling dust, Zhang Yu unleashed a powerful grab with one hand, and streams of purple energy spread out like a heavenly net, capturing large amounts of construction waste in one go. Yu Xingyan nodded upon hearing this and said, the path of transportation goes from shallow to deep. Ordinary people using true qi for transport can only be considered small scale. Once one can use the high-level purple firmament, heavenly net style, the transportation capacity increases tenfold or more, and transportation also changes from a minor path to a major path. Yingxin also nodded. A tenfold increase in transportation costs, that was indeed a major path. Looking at Zhang Yu's movements, as streams of Xuanhuang energy swept past, making the originally heavy construction waste appear light and airy, Yingxin's eyes couldn't help but flash with a hint of envy. Xuanhuang Zhenyu seal, used with the purple firmament heavenly net style, to reduce the weight of goods, can further increase transportation capacity. Used with the turning the heavens seal to increase weight, it can further increase the efficiency of crushing the ground. As expected of the foundational techniques of the civil engineering department. Watching Zhang Yu work back and forth without almost any pause, Yingxin secretly admired him even more. Even after becoming the class first, he hasn't slacked off at all, and even feels more desperate than before. Inside the dormitory, Lemulin took out a bottle of black medicine and said, "I brought the medicine for you." She hesitated and asked, "But are you sure you want to use it?" Zhang Yu took the medicine, looked at the faint cloud and mist, light and shadow emerging from the medicine, and said, "Don't worry, I can handle it." Since Zhang Yu became Director Gao's registered disciple, he was granted more drug exchange permissions, and a large number of laboratory medicines from the Pharmacology Institute were also made available to him at a discount. However, although these laboratory medicines have astonishing effects, they often have powerful side effects, so Zhang Yu had been pulling Lemulin along to screen them during this period. After many attempts, he selected the demonic mimicry aerosol in front of him. Looking at the medicine bottle in front of him, Zhang Yu thought to himself, under the realm of spirit-body unity, the cultivation method is constantly running, continuously tempering my Dao heart. Mana is also constantly running under the effect of the passive Qi absorption method. I just need to remember to eat spiritual stones. Only physical strength. Most of my current cultivation is pushing the martial Dao holy body cultivation method, and these cultivation methods are related to combat and construction, but they are not body refining cultivation methods. Although I can also improve some physical strength during this process, compared to body refining cultivation methods specifically for body refinement, it's still too slow. Especially as Zhang Yu felt the surge of heat within his body, he thought it would be too much of a waste to eat the aphrodisiac meat and not properly refine his body. Then wasn't I just holding it in for nothing? He saw him unscrew the medicine bottle, and with an open mouth inhale, a ball of mist surged out from the bottle and drilled into his body like a living creature. Immediately after, Zhang Yu performed a session of spring-autumn endless Zen cultivation. When he finished body refinement, he felt the demonic mimicry aerosol seemingly transform into tiny hands, pounding and twisting all over his body, constantly wearing down his physical body, but also tempering it. And with this tempering, it also instantly stimulated the surges of heat brought by the aphrodisiac meat within Zhang Yu's body, nourishing his flesh and blood. This is the effect of the demonic mimicry aerosol. It can simulate the effect of body refining cultivation methods and continue to maintain a part of the exercise effect, even after stopping exercise. But the drawback is, once it starts, it will inevitably last for several days, potentially causing severe physical injury, or even physical death. However, Zhang Yu was confident that he could withstand it with his physique. What truly prevented Zhang Yu from taking it for a long time was the price of this medicine. After the discount, one bottle costs almost 0.9 spiritual coins. It's really damn expensive. Spiritual coins balance 0.9. Gotta go make money. Zhang Yu, who had finished trying the medicine, left the dormitory with Lemulin, and saw Zhuan Ji waiting outside. Zhang Yu was somewhat familiar with this classmate of Lemulin. After all, the other party had closed the door for them many times, taken out the trash many times, and had expressed the desire to live in the same dormitory as them several times, sending him dormitory application resumes many times. At this moment, Zhang Yu looked at the other party's chest and thought to himself, Blazing Sun Law Meridian. Does this guy also have a doubt seed on him? Zhang Yu sensed it, and found that this Blazing Sun Law Meridian was a mana-type Dao seed, similar to Lemulin's, and also needed to improve mana quality to activate. 150% mana quality. Zhuan Ji on the other side felt slightly nervous under Zhang Yu's gaze. Just the next moment, Zhang Yu suddenly said, "You're Zhuan Ji, right? Let me give you some pointers." Letting Lemulin leave first, Zhang Yu led Zhuan Ji into the dormitory. Zhuan Ji walked in excitedly, constantly muttering in his heart, "Is it my turn? Is it finally my turn?" He opened his mouth and asked, "Do you want me to wash up?" Zhang Yu frowned and said, "What's there to wash?" Just as Zhuan Ji was thinking about how it was different from what the tutorial said, Zhang Yu had already placed a palm against his back. The next moment, two streams of mana, one cold and one hot, collided within Zhuan Ji's body. Zhuan Ji then felt the improvement in mana quality was visible to the naked eye, and the hot mana within his body seemed to be stimulated, accelerating its circulation, with Qi absorption efficiency far exceeding the past. At the same time, Zhang Yu's eye bone twitched, and a communication from Bai Zhenzhen came through. Bai Zhenzhen Yuzi? What are you doing? Zhang Yu immediately turned the camera around, showing the surroundings, and said frankly, I'm preparing to sell mana. He then specifically filmed Zhuan Ji for a while longer and said, this is the trading partner. Are you relieved now? Bai Zhenjin observed Zhuan Ji, and after seeing that the other party was male, she nodded in relief. She knew that Zhang Yu had always had no talent in the path of dual cultivation, and the range of suitable dual cultivation partners was also very narrow. Only physiological females could cause a reaction within Zhang Yu's body. Bai Zhenjin sighed in her heart. Alas, if you had talent for dual cultivation, it would be fine. I, as your good brother, would be the first to support you. But if it's purely interest without talent, isn't that delaying your own cultivation time? Zhang Yu said, Ajin, I told you not to worry. With my iron will, how could I not hold back? Bai Zhenjun said, it's not that mom doesn't believe you, it's just that she's afraid you'll neglect your proper duties for pleasure, and delay your studies. Then keep up the good work, I'll send you more meat in a few days. After hanging up the communication, Zhang Yu continued to infuse mana into Zhuan Ji for more than 10 minutes. After withdrawing his palm, Zhang Yu looked at the other party, and asked, how is it? Do you want to buy mana? Zhuan Ji thought to himself, so he was looking to sell mana to me? Although he was a little disappointed in his heart, recalling the feeling of digesting mana just now, Zhuan Ji thought to himself, it seems to be the same cold-natured mana as classmate Lam Yulin. It's very beneficial for improving my mana quality and key absorption efficiency. Moreover, looking at his intention, he wants to trade privately without going through the platform, right? It should be cheaper. So after some discussion, the two parties reached a private mana transaction, purchasing 10,000 units of mana from Zhang Yu at a price of 1 spiritual coin per month. Looking at Zhuangji's departing back, Zhang Yu thought to himself, I wonder what effect this blazing sun law meridian has. However, regardless of what effect this blazing sun law meridian has, the ability to increase his income by a sum each month is a good thing for him. Spiritual coins balance +1. Within the Taiching realm, Zhang Yu's multiple consciousnesses were currently rapidly browsing for different screens. And on the screens were exactly for courses magic treasure dynamics, spiritual energy materials and forming technology, mana transmission and conduction, and true fire processing technology. Along with the rapid flipping of the screens, a large amount of text and graphics continuously appeared in Zhang Yu's mind, being forcibly memorized by him. To further improve efficiency, Zhang Yu specifically spent 0.06 spiritual coins today to receive a 2-hour mind clarity spell, a Taoist art service that allows him to have photographic memory for 2 hours. And under the 20x thought acceleration in the Taiching realm, that would be equivalent to 40 hours of photographic memory. After further exploration with 4 layers of thought, it is equivalent to Zhang Yu being able to perform 160 hours of rapid memorization. So after spending 0.96 spiritual coins to purchase online course, videos, and textbooks, he didn't pursue understanding, but instead quickly browsed them, aiming to first record all the knowledge from the courses into his mind, and then slowly learn and understand them in the future. This should further improve my learning efficiency. In order to successfully complete all 3 years of courses in the refining department and pass the exams in the future, achieving the goal of smoothly transferring departments, Zhang Yu also continuously adjusted his learning methods and improved efficiency during the learning process. But there was one thing that could never be avoided, and that was the cost of purchasing textbooks in online courses. The textbooks in online courses for the refining department are really expensive. Adding up all the courses this semester, the tuition fee is probably more than 10 times higher than that of the civil engineering department. There are also material fees, laboratory usage fees. Zhang Yu looked at the course content for true fire processing technology, which, in addition to the transmission of written knowledge, also had a large number of sections that required experiments, all of which required purchasing materials and renting refining laboratories. Spiritual coins balance -1.56. At the construction site on the 667th floor, Zhang Yu was cultivating the 4th cultivation method of the martial Tao holy body, named Earth Grasping Claw, following Spring-Autumn Endless Zen, Turning the Heavens Seal, and Zishao Tian Luo style. He saw the key in his palm surging, and an invisible suction force came from his palm, lifting more than 10 tons of goods from a distance in one grasp. Unfortunately, there are too few cultivation methods taught in the civil engineering department, courses that happen to belong to the martial Tao holy body. I still need to buy the remaining cultivation methods in the set myself to cultivate. While Zhang Yu was cultivating, humanoid key figures flickered around him, helping with various chores. At the same time, under the guidance of his multiple thoughts, Zhang Yu also displayed martial arts, such as turning the heavens seal, Xuan Huang Zhenyu seal, and Zishao Tian Luo style, when needed. As Zhang Yu now mastered more and more skills, the amount of work he could do at the construction site also increased. Coupled with the effect of multiple thoughts doing multiple tasks simultaneously, and the formless warriors, his income rose again in October, reaching his peak daily wage on this day. Spiritual coins balance 0.21. After a night of overtime, not only did his cultivation improve and savings increase, but Zhang Yu also felt that the heat within his body had dissipated a lot, feeling comfortable all over. Fuji sighed from the side. Zhang Yu, after you abstain from lust, your work efficiency and learning efficiency have greatly improved. I think after the aphrodisiac meat is fully digested, you should continue to persevere. Zhang Yu calmly said, such things are originally optional for me. I don't know what you and Jen are always worried about. Having abstained from lust for more than half a month, my resistance is now so strong that even I find it a bit scary. I have a feeling that during the 10 Academies League in the future, I might become Wanfa University's secret weapon against Helwan University. Walking back to the dormitory, Zhang Yu's gaze suddenly flashed, looking at the beauty advertisements appearing in front of him, and he frowned. Damn it, I haven't searched for these things for more than half a month. Is this big data malfunctioning? Fuji reminded him, maybe it's because it considered that you searched a lot before, and recently discovered that you haven't searched for those things for a long time, and are currently in a psychologically weak period, easily susceptible to temptation, so it automatically pushed similar advertisements to you. Persevere, Zhang Yu. Don't be fooled by these advertisements. Zhang Yu sneered, mere advertisements, trying to disturb my mind. But after walking another 1,000 meters, looking at the increasingly explicit various advertising videos, Zhang Yu's face became redder and redder, and his steps became more and more hurried. He said angrily, despicable big data, not only striking during my weak period, but also specifically attacking my weaknesses. Listening to Nova. That night, Zhang Yu, who was channeling mana into Lemulin, occasionally had flashes of the advertisement video he saw today, feeling a surge of anxiety in his heart. Lemulin in his arms felt increasingly hot to the touch. Zhang Yu couldn't help but say in his mind, should I go to the bathroom? Fuji said, are you thinking of going to the bathroom? Think about your goal. You're someone who wants to enter the 10 great sects. How can you do things that affect your performance? Lemulin shifted her body, scolded, and whispered, Zhang Yu, you're a bit hot down there. Just as Zhang Yu's breathing grew heavier, Bai Zhen's communication lit up again, like a basin of cold water poured over him, temporarily suppressing the impulse in his heart. Opening the communication, Bai Zhen surveyed the surroundings and immediately said sternly, you're selling mana to Lemulin. Zhang Yu couldn't explain the matter of the Yu book and the Dao seed, so he could only nod in silent acknowledgement. Bai Zhen frowned and said, do you know how dangerous you are right now? What's your condition? Don't you know how fragile you are right now? Can you handle it? Just holding Lemulin here and selling mana? Bai Zhen said with heartfelt pain, are you holding Lemulin? You're holding a direct ticket to declining grades. Once you lose control and go astray, how many days of cultivation will be wasted? Don't lose sight of the big picture for a little money. Do you still remember that we agreed to participate in the 10 Academies League together? Zhang Yu nodded and said, don't worry, Zhen, the situation is within my controllable range, I can handle it. Bai Zhen said, then from now on, every time you trade with Lemulin, record the full video and send it to me. It's not that I don't trust you, but this is also a form of supervision, it can remind you, and it's like adding an extra lock. Zhang Yu felt a little unwilling upon hearing this, but he also knew that Bai Zhen was doing it for his own good, and he thought about the heavy coursework at the university and his ambitious goals. Adding an extra layer of security is good too. All right, Zhen, I promise you. After hanging up the communication, Lemulin asked, was that Bai Zhen? Seeing Zhang Yu nod, Lemulin wasn't surprised, as she had seen Zhang Yu frequently taking Bai Zhen's calls at various times recently. At this moment, Lemulin voiced a question that had been weighing on her mind for a long time. Zhang Yu, do you want to have children? Hiss. Zhang Yu gasped, feeling like he only had a sliver of health left. He looked at Lemulin angrily and said, "What nonsense are you talking about?" Lemulin said, "The company wants to buy your breeding rights." Zhang Yu refused without hesitation, "Not selling. And remember, at times like this, don't speak casually." Time passed quickly amidst Zhang Yu's efforts and struggles, and another month went by in the blink of an eye, reaching the end of October. Zhang Yu's martial Dao holy body had cultivated for techniques, and his savings, with multiple salary increases, finally exceeded 9 spiritual coins. Coupled with the 5 spiritual coins his sister repaid this month, his total reached 14 spiritual coins. Inside the simulated construction site, Xiong was massaging Che Yafei, channeling powerful force deep into Che Yafei's body, along with the movement of his Lud body at his fingertips. Che Yafei's brows relaxed, and he asked, "Really discounted?" Xiong said, "Of course it's discounted for teammates. If you think it's good, senior, you can recommend me to your classmates. Let's add each other as friends, and for every successful recommendation, I'll give you a rebate." "Oh right, does senior sister Shihuayu usually get massages? I can tell just by looking at her that her body is damp and cold, she really needs massages." As he spoke, Xiong was still observing the two people fighting on the field with his three-eyed divine power, constantly discerning their moves. The two fighters were Shihuayu and Zhang Yu. Between Shihuayu's moves, large amounts of sand and gravel were stirred up, pressing towards Zhang Yu like a mountain landslide. "Zhang Yu, among the opponents we encounter later, we are very likely to meet someone who has been classed first for 3 consecutive years, mastered 3 civil engineering 7 wonders, and can perform the minor triad." Zhang Yu felt waves of sand and gravel attack like a tsunami, as if to completely engulf his body. He could only repeatedly use the Xuanhuang Zhenyu seal to increase the weight of the sand and gravel, and then blast it open with the explosive force of the turning the heavens seal. At the same time, he also recalled Mazhuan, who also mastered the minor triad. It was from Mazhuan's moves that Zhang Yu first witnessed the minor triad. The minor triad, formed by cultivating the first 3 wonders of the civil engineering 7 wonders, allows control over earth energy, manipulating the ground beneath one's feet with an invisible force field, covering most metals and minerals. Shihuayu continued, "Your body is tough, and your defense is astonishing. After they realize this, they definitely won't want to defeat you, but rather to trap you. At this time, the minor triad is even more effective. You need to learn how to hold on for a longer time, under the minor triad." Zhang Yu stomped his feet, and surging Xuanhuang energy rushed towards the ground, immediately increasing the weight of the rising sand and gravel, temporarily suppressing it. He shouted, "Are you poor and out of money? You don't even have the strength to hit people." Just then, the sky-high sand and dust suddenly scattered, and Shihuayu frowned, clutching her waist. Zhang Yu was surprised, "Senior sister." Shihuayu shook her head, "It has nothing to do with you. If you can't stand provocation during training, what will you do during the competition?" "It's mainly because my kidney is acting up again. Just now, I vaguely seemed to see a family of 3 appear before me. It's okay, I'll watch some ads to earn some coupons to calm down. You guys continue training." Zhang Yu thought to himself, "This senior sister of mine has clearly been class first for several years, how can she be so poor?" Shihuayu failed in stock trading, went bankrupt last year. Now, not only does she use second-hand law bodies, but even her right kidney is a ghost kidney with residual consciousness. Che Yafei, hanging by a thread, a poor wretch racing against time every day, might die of old age on the construction site someday. Xiong, a demon-kin. Tianyang, a mediocre talent with unremarkable results in all aspects. Chao Qingshuan, the guy in this team who needs the most attention. Ji Yuanshu looked at the profiles of the members of Zhang Yu's competition team, and thought, besides Chao Qingshuan, what kind of trash are the rest? "Zhang Yu, is this the competition team you found?" Ji Yuanshu shook his head, no longer worried about the other party. "Now I just need to focus on myself, and ensure my team gets a good ranking." Anyway, in Ji Yuanshu's opinion, his ranking would definitely be higher than Zhang Yu's no matter what. Outside Zhang Yu's dormitory, Li Zhao looked at Zhuan Ji in front of him, and nodded familiarly. "Here again?" Although they weren't friends, they could be considered nodding acquaintances because they often met at the entrance of Zhang Yu's dormitory. Li Zhao thought to himself, "This kid also wants to get into Zhang Yu's circle, right?" Zhuang Ji thought to himself, this guy also wants to cultivate more with Zhang Yu and the others, right? I've seen him constantly since last year, he's really persistent. A moment later, as the door opened, Lum Yulin walked out, and Zhang Yu's voice came out, Zhuang Ji, come in. Zhuang Ji smiled triumphantly upon hearing this, looking at Li Zhao and thinking, I'm one step ahead of you, you can keep waiting outside. Looking at Li Zhao shut out by the door, Zhuang Ji felt as if he was seeing himself from last year. Li Zhao's heart trembled. Why does this kid seem more familiar with Zhang Yu than I am? Thinking about how he couldn't sit next to Zhang Yu in class recently, and how his application for the competition team was rejected by the other party, Li Zhao felt as if the distance between him and Zhang Yu was growing increasingly vast. Inside the dormitory, Zhang Yu sent the video he had just recorded with Lum Yulin to Bai Zhenjin. Tianjin University. Bai Zhenjin quickly scanned the video sent by Zhang Yu, a look of confusion on her face. Why does Zhang Yu seem both in pain and very happy? Just then, the Seven Emotions Divine Lord's voice entered Bai Zhenjin's ears. This is list. If you want to understand, you can have a restoration surgery and try the feeling. Bai Zhenjin refused instantly. Who wants to know this feeling? It's useless for cultivation, a waste of time. Seven Emotions Divine Lord list is also included in the Extreme Emotion Sword Dao, so how can it be useless? Every emotion can be transformed into nourishment for the Extreme Emotion Sword Dao. For example, when you heard their conversation about having children, did you have any emotional changes in your heart? Bai Zhenjin frowned slightly and said, at first, I was indeed a bit surprised. But judging from the content that followed, they were just discussing selling breeding rights. When it comes to the business of selling seeds, all the details should be made clear. It's very reasonable for Zhang Yu and Lum Yulin to discuss these things. What's the problem with that? Seven Emotions Divine Lord, but given Zhang Yu's interest in physiological females, don't you think he will eventually start a family and even have children? He will have a real family. You will no longer be the person with the best relationship with him. Your friendship will also gradually fade. Upon hearing this, Bai Zhenjin laughed and said, how is that possible? Zhang Yu is currently at a critical moment in his pursuit of the immortal Tao. How could he do such a thing? Starting a family and having offspring, that's something you should do when the immortal path reaches a bottleneck and there's no hope of further progress. Besides, we agreed to participate in the 10 Academies League together. He would never get distracted and do something that wastes his immortal Tao potential. Seven Emotions Divine Lord asked, what if he just thinks that way? Bai Zhenjin said without hesitation, he is my best brother, and I am his second mother. Obstructing his immortal path is obstructing my immortal path. I will naturally stop him and prevent him from making a wrong choice. At that time, I will personally perform a sterilization surgery on him. Speaking of which, I've long wanted to sever that root of disaster on him with a single sword. Although he is unwilling now, he is just being controlled by the hormones in his body. I believe that after he returns to normal, he will definitely understand my intentions. Seven Emotions Divine Lord was silent for a moment, then sighed. This generation of young people. Your ideas are indeed different from the past, but it's also quite good. Bai Zhenjin stood up, all right, I should continue cultivating. The flying sword competition is about to begin. Time flew by. As Bai Zhenjin cultivated, more than half of November had passed in the blink of an eye, and she also embarked on her journey to Wanfa University. Late November. Within the Taiching realm, Zhang Yu was studying courses from the refining department. Although he had only studied for 3 months, with the blessings of the Taiching realm and other factors, Zhang Yu felt that he had finished most of the first-year courses in the refining department. But unfortunately, he had always lacked opportunities for practical application. That is to say, a large amount of basic knowledge about weapon refinement had flooded into his mind, and was understood by his consciousness, but he hadn't completed various experimental classes, and hadn't had a single opportunity to truly apply this knowledge. Thinking of this, a general framework of weapon refinement appeared in Zhang Yu's mind. The path of weapon refinement first involves refining materials, then completing the basic structure, and finally completing the mana circuit. The mana circuit combined with the basic structure can unleash immortal Tao power. Although overall, it seems like just these 3 steps, in reality, each of these 3 steps can be broken down into dozens, hundreds, or even thousands of small steps, as the complexity and technical content of the magic treasures increase, which is not surprising. And this is still the most basic and old-fashioned magic treasure. Magic treasures on the market now basically still need to add talismans and connect to the spiritual world network. Many also need to be endowed with spirits, and have basic intelligence. Going further up, there are also highly intelligent spirits that can allow magic treasures and law bodies to self-maintain, self-learn, and self-enhance. Xiong Yu thought to himself, talismans and spirits are not being considered for now. Once I have completely digested the first-year knowledge of the refining department, it will be time to practice refining materials, basic structures, and mana circuits. Xiong Yu understood that if learning and understanding the knowledge of the refining department was considered walking 1 meter, then truly applying this knowledge and practice to create magic treasures was still 99 meters away. Within this 99-meter distance, he needed to learn how to apply this knowledge, learn a lot of practical experience, and also cultivate many cultivation methods needed for weapon refinement. Of course, the most important thing was to have money. Labs, material costs, design blueprints. It's all money. Xiong Yu thought to himself, it's a good thing I joined civil engineering first, otherwise, if I had entered the refining department directly, I'm afraid I would have gone bankrupt long ago. Next, I will continue to learn the knowledge of the refining department, cultivate cultivation methods, work to save money, and prepare for subsequent weapon refinement practice. When leaving the Taiching realm, Xiong Yu glanced at the data on his U-book. Less than 3 months after the start of his second year, his Tao Heart had reached level 16, and his mana had increased to 848.3 units. Although the improvement in mana quality was gradually slowing down, it had also reached a level of 176%. As for physical strength, due to focusing on construction cultivation methods, although he used various methods and spent a lot of money, the improvement was much slower than before, and it had just reached level 16.49. The true key conductivity rate and the maximum true key transmission distance also increased with his cultivation, reaching 62% and 61 meters. In addition, regarding the progress of his martial Tao holy body, Xiong Yu had already cultivated 5 cultivation methods. And the 6th cultivation method Xiong Yu chose was the Stellar Sky Meridian Piercing Great Art, which he had now cultivated to level 13. Just 7 more levels, and I can unlock the first level effect of the martial Tao holy body. I also don't know what will be different about the martial Tao holy body at the foundation establishment stage compared to the martial Tao holy embryo at the key refining stage. Just then, a message flashed in Xiong Yu's phone. He opened it and saw that it was a message from Bai Zhenjin. Bai Zhenjin Yuzi, I've arrived. Xiong Yu's eyes lit up, but thinking that the other party had just arrived at Wanfa University City, she would definitely need time to settle down and prepare for the competition. Just as he was thinking of letting Bai Zhenjin attend to her own matters first, the other party sent another message. Bai Zhenjin, Mom misses you. Bai Zhenjin, where should we meet? Bai Zhenjin, find a more discreet place. Wanfa University City, 66th floor. In a corner without surveillance coverage and free of people. Xiong Yu suddenly found himself a little nervous. Fuji said, kid, your heart is beating a little fast. Xiong Yu said, after all, Jen and I haven't seen each other for almost 17 months. Although we communicate every day, it always feels like there's a layer between us. Fuji said, so that's how it is. Fuji thought to herself, I thought it was the effect of the virility enhancing meat that made you a little excited at the thought of seeing Bai Zhenjin. Then Fuji thought again, although Xiong Yu doesn't usually say it, and although Bai Zhenjin is also trying her best to restrain and hide it, both of them should have gradually felt the gap between them. The huge gap in wealth is enough to turn the difference between people into the difference between humans and gods. Not to mention the chasm-like gap brought about by the wealth infusion from a soul transformation divine lord. Although Xiong Yu has a chance to bridge this distance in the future, Bai Zhenjin's future is also very worrying, but at least at this moment, the two of them are no longer in the same world. Fuji sighed in her heart, especially this time, when Bai Zhenjin asked him out. She specifically requested a discreet location that wouldn't be discovered. Would Xiong Yu feel that Bai Zhenjin doesn't want people to discover their relationship? That she feels Xiong Yu is not presentable? Fuji couldn't be entirely sure about this, but based on her many years of experience traversing the Kunshu, this was not completely impossible. And if that's really the case, it means that although Bai Zhenjin is still maintaining communication with Xiong Yu, their feelings for each other have actually changed without them realizing it. Or rather, looking at the point whereby Zhenjin actively supervises Zhang Yu, perhaps she has unconsciously placed herself in a higher position than Zhang Yu. This might also be unavoidable. After all, with the support of a soul transformation divine lord, Bai Zhenjun definitely has superior cultivation conditions, a higher perspective on cultivation, and a broader dimension of understanding. Even if it's subconscious, she will inevitably believe that her understanding of the immortal Tao is superior to Zhang Yu's. Her judgment on the immortal Tao is also superior to Zhang Yu's. Fuji thought to herself, thinking this way, it's almost destined that their feelings will change. So, is this also within the seven emotions divine lord's consideration? Is it related to the mysteries of the extreme emotion sword Tao? HMPH, if I were in charge, I would seize the time to extract benefits from Bai Zhenjin. I would take as much as I can with the current opportunity, and I wouldn't feel bad even if contact is lost in the future. Otherwise, wouldn't the energy, resources, and time invested in this woman all be wasted? Alas, it's a pity that this silly kid Zhang Yu doesn't have such a cold and rational way of thinking as I do. Just as Fuji was pondering back and forth, a gust of night wind blew upon Zhang Yu. The next moment, Zhang Yu felt a slender, strong body hug him tightly from behind. Yuzi, it's me. Time is limited, so I'll just start directly. Hearing a Zhen's voice, Zhang Yu was about to turn back excitedly when he heard the other party continue, it's a bit big now, bear with it. The next instant, Zhang Yu understood the meaning of Bai Zhenjin's words. Because he felt the other party's true spiritual root squeezing in little by little from behind, forcefully drilling into his dantian. And after evolving into a god spiritual root, the size of the true spiritual root far exceeded the past. Zhang Yu thought to himself, so Jin asked me to find a discreet place because she wanted to lend me her true spiritual root. At the same time, Zhang Yu felt Bai Zhenjin's aura, Bai Zhenjin's thoughts, Bai Zhenjin's feelings, constantly pouring into his body, integrating into his body through the true spiritual root. Zhang Yu still remembered that back in Kungsha Layer 1, when he borrowed the true spiritual root would adjust his physical body due to its unique adaptability, transferring the benefits brought by Bai Zhenjin to Zhang Yu. And now Bai Zhenjin's spirit route had evolved from a heavenly spiritual route into a god spiritual root. Coupled with the fact that Zhang Yu hadn't borrowed the true spiritual root for a very long time. Thus, the adjustment brought by the god spiritual root was even more intense at this moment, causing Zhang Yu's entire body's flesh and blood to tremble, his meridians to contract and expand, and his dantian to feel like it was being forcefully stretched open. Bai Zhenjin said, our differences are a bit large now, the process will be a bit intense, you have to bear with it. Zhang Yu's original key C spiritual root in his dantian was completely suppressed with the appearance of the true spiritual root. The true spiritual root, having evolved into a god spiritual root, actually replaced it directly, temporarily taking over Zhang Yu's spirit root position. Zhang Yu was shocked after the true spiritual root evolved into a god spiritual root. It can even do something like this. At the same time, Bai Zhenjin's laughter came from his ear. How is it? Is the true spiritual root powerful now? I've been trying to find a way to let the true spiritual root migrate into your body, since you have a spirit root. Just as Zhang Yu was about to answer, he felt the flesh and blood all over his body being torn apart, accompanied by an unprecedented sense of pain. Zhang Yu couldn't help but whisper, damn it. Why does it hurt so much? Bai Zhenjin encouraged him from behind, bear with it, Yuzi, it won't hurt anymore once you get through this. Then my true spiritual root can come and strengthen you. Fuji also said excitedly, keep going, Zhang Yu. This is a god spiritual root. It's something many people dream of but can't get. You must accept this benefit. Bear with it. Bear with it. After a long while, Zhang Yu felt the pain in his body gradually dissipate. Although there was still some discomfort, it was within the range that didn't affect his basic activities. Letting out a long breath, Zhang Yu turned his head and looked at Bai Zhenjin, whom he hadn't seen for a long time. Looking at this close friend who immediately gave him her god spiritual route to use, he said helplessly, Jin, doing this is too dangerous. What if someone finds out? Bai Zhenjin smiled carelessly, that's why I asked you to find a discreet place. Don't worry, my god spiritual root's concealment function is very strong now. The moment it enters your body, it's very difficult to detect. Zhang Yu worried, it's still too risky. What if someone finds out that your God's spiritual root can migrate like this, or even replace someone else's spirit root? But before he could finish speaking, Bai Junjin's embrace sealed off the rest of his words. Yuzi, Mom misses you. Zhang Yu hugged Bai Junjin in front of him, thinking of their unwavering companionship and shared struggles throughout 3 years of high school. He also whispered of Jen, Dad misses you too. Fuji, standing aside, said anxiously in her heart, what are you doing? Hurry up and try the God spiritual route first. What are you wasting time for? Are you even considered university students? Do you have any ambition left?